Hello class. Okay, so let's begin with a new chapter from geography, that is chapter 4, climate. Okay, this is a very short and sweet chapter. Okay, so here in this chapter, in this textbook, you can learn about climate, difference between climate and weather, then what are the conditions or what are the characteristics of climates, okay, and what is a climate, what are the elements of climate and weather, all these things we are going to learn in this chapter. Okay, so let's begin. So climate is the most important element of environment on the earth, right? Why so? Because climate plays an important element, for example rain. So rainy season. Okay. How rainy season is important? A rainy season is very much important for a farmer because his crops, his profit, his production, everything is dependent on rain. Right? Same way, those people who are doing different businesses and all, for example, clean clothes. Right. So winter season is very much important for them. Right? So same way, different seasons are important in the perspective like with business purpose or for any health purpose, for vegetables and fruits, plants, everywhere we need proper climate. Right? Each and every plant, each and every vegetables, they also need proper climate. So climate is very much important element on the earth. Elements of climate and weather are given here. You can see temperature, air pressure, winds, humidity, cloudiness, precipitation. So these are the elements which are present in climate and weather. So in this chapter, we are going to learn about what is climate, what is weather, how climate and weather are made, the making of climate and weather. Okay. So first let's see the difference between climate and weather. Okay. So now what is the meaning of climate? Climate means it refers to the sum total of weather conditions over a large area for a longer period of time. That means it's total of weather conditions, sum total of weather conditions which is there in a large area and which prolongs for a longer period of time. That is known as climate. Now, what is the meaning of weather? Weather means it refers to the state of atmosphere over an area or a place at any point of time. That means, for example, we must have experienced it many times. Suddenly, it starts raining, right? It becomes cloudy weather. Then suddenly it's a sunny weather. Okay, so that we will not say, okay, it's a summer, it's climate. Not, it's not climate. When there is change in the atmosphere around us in a specific area or place at that particular point of time, then that is known as weather. Because it is not a permanent picture of the atmosphere, it is just a temporary picture. It may become cloudy and start raining and suddenly then there is a sun outside. Okay, so that is known as weather. That means which refers to a temporary picture of atmosphere over that area, that particular area or place at any point of time. Climate means which is the total of the weather conditions which is there for a longer period of time. So now here we can see the making of climate and weather. Chain of elements make the climate and weather conditions. Now, as I told you in the first slide we have seen, there are elements which are the reasons of making climate and weather. And which are those elements? Temperature, air pressure, winds, humidity, cloudiness, rainfall. These are some of the elements which are there in the chain, which are there in the chain, which makes the climate and weather conditions. Okay. Now here you can see a relation of temperature and air pressure. Now what is the relation between a temperature and air pressure? Now here you can see there is high temperature and low temperature. High temperature will go and slowly it will become low air pressure. Low temperature will become high air pressure. Right. So now how is the relation? When it is high temperature, then that is hot air. Hot air will become light. Then expansion is there. Then there is emptiness in atmosphere. And because of that, there is low air pressure. On the other case, when there is low temperature, cold air is there. From that, the hot air will become light. Cold air will become heavy. Piling up. Okay. Here, in high temperature, it was expansion. In low temperature, it is piling up. And because of piling up, there is accumulation of air. And because of accumulation of air at a particular area or place, there is high air pressure. So you can see the difference there. When it is hot air, it's light, it expands, and then there is emptiness in the atmosphere, and because of that, there is low air pressure. When it is low temperature, cold air is there, and cold air is a heavy air, and it gets piled up, and because of that, there is accumulation of air in the atmosphere, and there is high air pressure. Okay. So this is the difference, or this is the relationship between temperature and air pressure. When there is high temperature, it results to low air pressure. When there is low temperature, it refers to high air pressure. Okay. Now, reverse relationship is also there. Okay. See, from here you can see, from high, it becomes low. From low, it became high. Okay. So what kind of relationship is this? This is a reverse relationship. From high temperature, it went to low air pressure, and low air pressure to high air pressure. Okay. Relation of air pressure and wind. So here we have seen relationship of temperature and air pressure. How it is coming, how it is working, it is one. Okay. Now, what is the relationship between air pressure and wind? So that we are going to learn in the next slide. You can see this arrow mark. This arrow mark, this is they are showing about the air moving, the air current. Okay. So air always moves from high pressure to low pressure. Okay. So the air which moves from high pressure to low pressure, and when there is horizontal movement of air, then it is known as wind. Here, when air moves from high pressure to low pressure, always that is the scenario, that air moves from high pressure to low pressure. Now, when there is a horizontal movement of air, that's known as wind. And air also moves vertically. It's air. It moves horizontal, it moves vertical. So when it is a vertical movement of air, that is known as air current. When there is a vertical movement, that is known as air current. And when there is a horizontal movement, that is known as wind. Clear? What is the relationship between air pressure and wind? Air always moves from high pressure to low pressure, and when it is horizontally moving, then that movement of air is known as wind. When it is vertically moving, That vertical movement of air is known as air current. Here, the difference between wind and air current. Horizontally moving air from high pressure to low pressure, it's wind. Vertically moving air from high pressure to low pressure, then it is air current. Here, so I believe you have understood the reverse relationship between high temperature, low air pressure, low temperature, high air pressure. And here it is relationship between air pressure and wind moving from high pressure to low pressure. If it is in horizontal movement, it is known as wind. And if it is in vertical movement, it is known as air current. Yeah. Now, relationship between wind and humidity. From here, we will see it in the next class. Okay. Thank you.